Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Talk Wrestling Unplugged. Yes, I am doing this with no power. I'm literally running off freaking generators and chargers and hotspots. It's a cluster fuck. And the one F bomb air. That's all. That's all I get. I know. That's fine. It is what it is. Welcome to this very unique edition of Talk. Edison cut our power. Hotspot. Hi, I'm on. Why am I on two cameras? That's weird. There we go. Okay. Because I really wanted to be on, because I wanted to show the new shirt. I got a new shirt. Yay me. Over at teespring.com/store/Jeff Meacham Network. This shirt's available. All the shirts from the network are available. So those are all there. And I wanted to come on because it's Monday. It's Talk Wrestling time. And I wanted to officially celebrate my anniversary. As I mentioned during the Hell in the Cell stream yesterday, 18 years, which is just freaking crazy that I've been doing this for as long as I've been doing this. But yeah, it blows my mind. But I love it. I'm so like, it's humbling to be around this long. I feel like an old geezer when I say 18 years, and I'm gonna be 38 next year. But yeah, it's been a long time. Hang on one second. Still like you to come in to the stream. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to bring. I sent an invite to a lot of people, and somebody's waiting very patiently in the green room. I'll be with you momentarily, sir. But I wanted to come on and talk about Hell in a Cell and talk about, the old days of NoDQ and the mayhem, and reminisce as best and legally as I can, considering. Let's get to the comments here real quick. Brendan says, "What's up? Thought Hell in a Cell was a solid show, and the cell matches told the story as well. They did. Great. I think, again, 3 cell matches is overkill. I'm going to say that to my dying day. But I did enjoy each cell match. Each cell match told a great story. So there you go. Chris says Halloween Havoc 97 had the best cruiserweight match of all time. It may have been the best WWE match of all time, period. It was a damn good match, and we are going to watch that this week with Greg and I, if I get the power back. Oh, lordy. Nando says, good evening, everyone. What did you guys think about the Nintendo Power Glove Roman War last night? That was kind of funny. It was a cool... Let's see here. Johnny says, hey. Joe says, yeah, I can tell. It's going to be a bad show. Adrian says it's a clusterfuck as the video's all over the place. Again, I'm not trying to swear, and I'm so sorry. Colin says, hey, brother. We'll try to get you on, Cleaver, when you're available. Nathan says, I like this shirt. I like the color, too. Thank you. I didn't originally pick the color. Greg Sherry, full disclosure, did our shirts now. He's doing our designs, and I saw this shirt with this color scheme. I went, you know what? I like it. I'm going for it. So it's very rare I get a blue shirt. So, and Dodger blue right now. Go Dodgers tomorrow. God, I hope. Elon says congrats on Jeff. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Nathan's happy anniversary. Thank you. Joe says congrats. Collins has been watching 13 years. I know. Talk wrestling 13 years this year. It's as Gwen says, it's bananas. This shit is bananas. It is. Nando says continued success in wrestling, buddy. Thank you. Janelle says, what would you give to WWE Championship to Randy Orton? They could have laid Drew McIntyre. Okay. I think he's trying to say, why would you give the title to Orton? They could have had McIntyre continue as champion. Variety, something different. I'm all for that. I am fine with that. Gee, but I mean, where do you stand on that as far as Orton becoming champion last night, as opposed to Drew keeping it, as he wears the only undefeated shirt in the league? Let's be clear on that, folks. The Steelers were whooping that ass. There you go.
I enjoyed the show last night.
I don't shy away from the Cowboys sucking dick this year. Whatever it is, what it is.
I enjoyed the show last night. Orton winning it, that's fine, something different. McIntyre's been champion since April. So it's good. It's good. I like Orton as a champion. He'll do great things. And I'm sure The Miz is going to cash on him. Probably tonight, recreate it 10 years ago when Miz cashed on Orton on a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. Survivor Series is only 4 weeks away, and the night after Survivor Series is when Miz cashed in, so,
Oh, yeah, okay, after Survivor Series, okay.
Yep, yeah, because it was Wade versus Randy at both shows, and Randy got worn down by the Nexus, and when Cena chased them away, Miz took advantage of the opportunity, so good on him. But I enjoyed the show. I had the chance to be in Thunderdome. I chose not to. I wanted to do the watch along with you guys, so I chose to stay out. I'm supposed to be in there tonight, but with this power bullshit, I gave my seat away to somebody else because I'm not fucking with it today. I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's already been a train wreck trying to get trivia taped earlier within a half hour. That was.
Oof.
You guys will see Friday. It's a mess. My whole presentation on my screen is a hot mess. It's freaking awful. I'm sorry in advance, y'all, for Friday's trivia show. It's the drizzling shits. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's terrible. So watch with caution. Tune into the post game. That'll be much more fun. I'll have power back. It'll be great. It'll be fun. So just watch the post game. It'll be good shit, pal.
So what are they doing down there by you guys?
Yeah, what's happening is we're having the high winds. So SoCal Edison's all flipping out about, the power lines and the fire hazard or whatever. So they literally shut our power down just before like 9:40 this morning, which really irritated the shit out of me because I had this grand plan today that I was going to get that damn horror binge done today. This week. I was going to get it done. I didn't even finish the first freaking part, the first Jason movie. I was almost done with the final chapter, and then it cuts power. I'm like, okay, just screw me in the butt, right? Thanks, appreciate it, guys. So I'm gonna be a whole day behind now, which really chaps my ass. It sucks. It does. 8 Eastern-ish. So yeah, I can't use my refrigerator, I can't use my microwave. I had to order food in for Dylan and I because we can't open the door, or open the fridge, and we can't use the microwave. So, and I can't use the stovetop. Yeah. So it's been a mess, and it sucks. So I had to spend money I didn't want to have to spend. We're probably gonna have to go out to dinner, and I really asked. I thought I'm gonna do patio seating because I'm getting the cabin fever worse than ever.
Yeah.
God, this is gonna be such a fucking train wreck today. Ugh, okay,
It happens.
I got it back.
It happens. Oh, I think we lost Jeff. So it's open mic for Big Baller G. I don't know if there's any other questions or whatnot, but okay, there he is.
Jeff's gonna lose his head today. Okay. If we crap out again, we're done. I'm telling you that right now. So, all right.
That's totally fine. I understand.
Anyway, my plan, I'd like to actually go out and do patio dining because I haven't done that yet, except for Bob's earlier last month. So I'd like to actually go as a family and go do some patio seating. That'd be cool. But just to get, because the cabin fever is on overdrive. I hate it. I'm so tripping balls right now. I hate it so much. And so I don't want to be inside. I don't want to be inside anymore. So I hope we get to go out. But anyway, somebody was with me for a good chunk of the ride last night, but she bowed out just before the main event. I'll go ahead and bring her in. Hello, Miss Lisa.
Hi.
Sorry if you can barely hear me over. I know if you've been watching. I'm doing the show unplugged. It's a complete mess right now because of the damn power stuff. So it sucks. Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Like I said, I was telling the people you bowed out just before the main event started last night. Did you get a chance to go back and watch?
I caught bits and parts of it.
Mm-hmm. What were your? Well, I mean, we all people that have followed the outcome surprise you, or what was your feeling when Randy became champion?
It didn't surprise me. He was due. It was 3 times now. Same thing.
Yep.
Time for a change.
I agree.
Now, how long he has it for? That's another question. But for now, it's a good thing, and they can do so much more with him.
Right. I think the odds makers are the over/under is who loses the title first, him or Sasha.
Sasha.
Yeah. No,
she will never have a long reign. The poor chick.
It'd be nice if they kept the titles on both of them up until at least WrestleMania.
I only say no to Sasha being champion because I want her to be chasing into Mania.
Yeah.
Like, the chase is the thing. The chase is the thing in wrestling, and we all know that. We all been watching long enough, and I'm sure Stat Boy, as he comes in, will agree with that. The baby face chasing the heel is the thing. So, transitioning from the talk about Sasha and Randy, you've got Roman, who walked up that ramp and had Afa and Sika anoint him the guy, the tribal chief. He's the man now. He is the head of the table. So, who do you have in that place to chase Roman Reigns? There's I've been talking about it for the last 24 hours with everybody online because I've been up all night. There's nobody there that will actually make people go, maybe.
What about Daniel Bryan?
No.
No?
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah,
not yet.
I want to believe Daniel. I want Daniel to regain what he lost 6 years ago. Don't get me wrong. But he's not going to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns. That's just not going to happen. Are we going to be satisfied with anybody but The Rock at this point? I mean, honestly.
Well, you and I kind of talked about it last night. Like, there's so much they can do. There's Brock.
There is Brock. Brock is always on the fringe there. Right.
The whole Paul Heyman kind of dynamic, right?
Right.
So there's something they can do there. Other than that, the only other person I can see him kind of feuding with right now would be Seth Rollins.
I was
right, which again is right there money. The thing is they brought Seth in as a heel onto SmackDown. They made him the SmackDown savior. So it's
Yeah, well, they can do more of like a power trip type gimmick, right? Like who?
Oh, for sure.
who is the top guy, right? Whether it's a baby face or a heel.
Right. Well, if correct me if I'm wrong, Stat Boy, I'll ask you: has Roman beat Seth definitively for the championship or any kind of major match?
I'll get on that right now. But I believe the answer is yes.
Because I know that when Roman became champion after Seth got hurt, Seth came back and beat Roman at Money in the Bank, but then Ambrose cashed in and ruined everything for Seth that night. And I don't think Seth and Roman have had a program since then.
Yeah, but then you got to think too. You have this whatever's going on with Goldberg, right?
Oh God.
So he's entitled to matches. Right. So if they pull something like that, I don't know. The only person that comes to mind would be Seth. Yeah, it would be Seth. At this point.
Yeah, I did not even think of Seth. You're right. So, I mean, of everybody available on the roster that we're seeing every week, I think Seth's the way to go. But do you carry that to, because his, to quote the old shirt, here's the thing. You've got Survivor Series, which is always brand versus brand. So we're looking at Roman versus Randy coming up in 4 weeks.
Okay, here's what I got.
Yes, sir.
Roman and Seth were, of course, supposed to start feuding in September of 2014, but unfortunately, that's when Roman had his hernia problem.
That's right.
Well, I'm reading here.
Came back, and then he started messing around with Rollins and whatever. But then Roman started something with the Big Show instead, and then of course the Rumble happened and everything and whatnot, and it just fizzled away because he got sick.
Right, but then when Roman went into the main event against Brock, Seth's the one that made that match what it was. And then Seth ruled that whole year until he took himself out with the knee injury. So like I said, him and Roman have really had the definitive one-on-one thing. So Seth's a great of course Lisa with the hot take there, great idea. I didn't even think about Seth because I didn't think of heel versus heel, but it's not really. It's who's the biggest ego trip guy. So there you go. Perfect.
Forgive me for not acknowledging you. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Did we lose Lisa? I'm not sure if we lost her or not, but that's
yeah, we might have.
We might have. So it's all good.
In Money in Bank at 2016 Money in the Bank, Rollins did defeat Reigns for the championship, but then Ambrose cashed in right afterwards. That was the night when all Shield members became WWE championship.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier. That they had that brief moment together on screen, but it didn't amount to anything because Seth went into the program with Dean and Roman went on to do his own thing. So So it's actually not a bad. Lisa had a good idea there. Not a bad idea to have the two Shield members go for the championship and have now they're both on the. Now they're both on the heel side of things. It'd be a much better, it'd be a great ego trip contest rather than just a straight up match, which I like, and I appreciate the suggestion. That's a really good idea, Lisa. Good job. I appreciate it. So let me get into the comment pool here. See what we got here. Janelle said, Jonelle, I guess. Jackson says Sasha and Bayley should have been the main event. We talked about that, Lisa and I. We were on the stream together. That was looking like it was gonna be, and then they threw him in the middle. Like, oh, okay, I guess not. So, I think based on the ending we got, the match order was correct.
Yeah.
I feel because Roman's moment was powerful. It could have been the main event, but it was a great way to start too. It was like, okay, Roman's setting the tone.
Everything after that just kind of fell flat, right? To me, right? Like all the emotion and stuff, like that should have been the end. Then you follow that up with Jeff Hardy and Elias,
right? Yeah, it was definitely the most emotional of the 3 cell matches because of the the familial tie and like I said, all 3 cell matches told a great story.
Yeah.
But I also think that their cell match for Roman and Jay was very much self-contained, whereas the Sasha Bailey story fed off of the previous encounters and the previous story, much like Drew and Randy did. Roman and Jay, yes, they had their match last month, and they've got the familial ties, but that match itself, the I Quit aspect of that match really made it something unique, and I thought it was easily the best match of the 3 last night. But somebody made a very good point online. I saw a comment. It was a great I Quit match. It just happened to be inside a cell. Like, it really wasn't a Hell in a Cell match in and of itself. There wasn't a whole lot of cell use compared to the other 2.
And they didn't use the microphone. They had the microphone turned up in the ring, and they actually had to censor Jay a couple times because he was swearing a lot.
Right. I'm not. I have a problem. Go ahead, Lisa.
But said I would be too. Get my butt kicked.
Yeah, if I'm getting my ass handed to me, whether it's staged or not, I cuss on this show. I don't get hurt at all, so whatever. Sorry, too many F-bombs, Aaron. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a show, Aaron, because I'm dealing with difficult technology today. But yeah, it's again, the Roman match, I think, would have been fine outside of the confines of the cage. I think it would have been just fine being an I Quit match. And I think they just, too many cell matches, and I think that was the wrong choice. But it still
Dun, dun, dun.
And he's gone.
And he's
we lost him again.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep the show going a little bit.
Made for a great match. Let me be clear.
On the Roman match.
No problem with any. I have no problem with any matches. The outcome of anything last night. I thought everything pretty much hit the way it should have hit. I mean, Miz should have beat Otis. I mean, that was a given. And Tucker turning was like, okay, finally, no shit.
This is great. Jeff, we're not laughing at you, we're laughing with you, okay? I think he's frozen again, because...
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, we lost him again.
There he is.
Yeah. I think my problem with the Roman match, though, was I didn't like seeing Roman break down and cry right there. There was that one spot where, Jay, I don't even know if Jimmy had come into the ring at that point, but, he's begging him to stop, like, to change his character mid-match.
But that kind of added to everything, right? It was a dramatic effect, kind of like, how do you describe it? Chasing the demons, right? Like, he doesn't want to do this, but he loves his family, but he has to, like, trying to decide who he is, right?
Yeah.
It was more for a dramatic effect, and I think, honestly, he pulled it off really well. He's a good actor.
And he learned from the breast.
And then to see Jay unconscious for that amount of time, I had that small little feeling. I'm like, is he okay, or is he really working this angle? Is he really knocked out? And then Jimmy starts getting beat up. The use of the leather strap was very good. I mean, a leather strap is much stronger than your standard belt, and you could hear that from miles away. And it was nice to see the Wild Samoans come out. They are they're looking okay. I mean, they've aged greatly, but I don't know if this whole tribal chief thing works or anything like that. And Jeff is back. How you okay, Jeff?
No shit, Daniel. Jesus, oh my God. Okay, I will breathe today. I will not be mad at technology. It's not the computer's fault. What I missed?
It's okay.
We're just talking about
not much. We're just talking about Roman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay, Roman. Yeah.
And I'll admit I skipped the Hardy Elias match because I didn't even think that was necessary. As far as Miz and Otis go, I did not see the breakup swerve. I would have liked to see Miz win it on his own.
And the thing with the breakup swerve is they're on separate brands. So if they want to have something come of it, they're going to break the brand rule again.
Or move.
Like it's very shoddy booking because it's.
Or they trade Otis to Raw for somebody for SmackDown. That's the only way you can continue something.
Well, but that negates the whole purpose of this entire program we've had the last month, where Miz undermined every single aspect of Otis's life. Like it makes no sense trading back now. It'll be like, okay. So
how long has Otis had the briefcase?
Since
long enough.
May.
So is the contract still like a year, or is it now 6 months?
6 months.
I would say it doesn't roll over. I think it's where it is. I think
it continues from where it is.
Yeah, so it's again, we're all pretty much counting on a repeat of 2010, right? Where Miz is going to cash in, sooner rather than later, but maybe not. Maybe Miz actually thinks about it and holds off and goes the Seth route and makes the big moment at Mania.
I could see that too.
Just throwing it out there, And Dwayne makes a good point in the chat room. Are we now going to see Miz and Morrison for the briefcase?
No.
Say that again, please.
No.
Said it would depend who the champion is at that time.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, it wouldn't surprise me if Miz cashed in on Randy again, just to do it. So.
Yeah, like Miz and Randy makes sense.
Right.
Miz and Drew
cashing on. No, yeah.
Doesn't really make sense.
No, because Drew's been such a killer that even a surprise cash in, Drew would still kick his freaking head off.
Yeah.
Right. So now who do you have Drew face now that he's lost the title?
There's a lot of luckily Raw is still pretty stacked. So he won't be without an opponent for too long. But again, we're looking at Survivor Series, and Michael makes a good point. If Survivor Series is cross-branded, then Otis versus Tucker can happen there. I didn't think about that. That's a very good point.
There you go.
So
yeah, but do we really want to see that?
Okay, no, but if they want to actually have some sort of
like
finality to this betrayal, what's that?
Maybe like a pre-show.
Well, right. I'm not saying to give them the freaking main event or anything, but if they want to actually have some sort of finality to this, to the betrayal from last night, they gotta have some sort of blow-off match at some point, whether it's on TV or not, or pay-per-view. They gotta do it. Drew can face Sheamus since he's on Raw. He can face AJ Styles. AJ's been the popular comment. AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre. I would pay to go see that show in person if I could. That's a money match for me. You've got two guys who, one guy who got a shot at WWE developmental and turned it down to become the face of TNA, and the other guy who made his name as the chosen one and got cast aside, went to TNA and whooped everybody's ass and became the man, and now came back, and now they're both in WWE. That's a great story right there. You can't tell it like that, obviously, because but it's good for us fans that know better.
Yeah.
So, I like it.
I did notice one thing else that I wanted to say during the Hell in a Cell between McIntyre and Orton. there were a couple camera shots. This was just as they were climbing over the top, on top of the cage. It almost looked like that Randy and Drew were not human. It looked like it was almost out of a computer. I don't know if that's just the way the camera was run. I don't know if they actually spliced in a faraway shot of the video game, but I looked at it and I'm like, that doesn't look like them. And then they somehow would cut to another camera shot, and honestly, them going to the top of the cage was pointless, except to get the one spot through the table. Other than that, they didn't do much up there, except when Randy took a pipe to Drew. Other than that, what was the point of going to the top of the Thunderdome? It was dumb.
Well, Mikey, if you go to NoDQ.com right now and go to the headline section on the news page, you'll know that Drew McIntyre did that spot on purpose as a tribute to Shawn Michaels for the first Hell in a Cell.
No. Shawn did it better.
Cheap hug, boss. Come on anytime. Anyway,
Shawn's bump was better.
He said he'd be on today if he could help it, damn it. So, anyway, I'm just giving him shit.
And I'm not saying that just because I'm Shawn Mark, but Shawn's was better.
Well, it's because it's Shawn Michaels. I'm not going to deny that. Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels. He is who he is, and so. Another thought, possibility. Nobody's really saying this except for Nando here. How about Drew and Cesaro? We haven't seen that yet. I love me some Cesaro, so it's worth it for me. So, Mikey, as far as your point about the whole glitchy thing, I honestly think it was a combination of the faraway camera angle combined with that god-awful red cell. Just playing tricks on our eyes. I honestly believe that's what it was. Because there's so much... Yeah, one of the key features I have on Photoshop is desaturation of color. There is so much saturation when you combine the cell and the Thunderdome crowd, the camera shots of everybody. There's just so much going on for that camera to try to present to you, through your own television screen that your eyes are just going, what the? So it was probably a trick of the eyes, is what it was.
Maybe
would be my guess. Okay. I've got 3 witnesses here in the room with me, and I've got 25 people watching. Plot twist: Otis beats Orton for the title, and Miz cashes in on Otis and crushes Otis's heart again. If they have Otis defeat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, I swear to God and country, I will come on this show and praise the Anaheim Ducks. You heard it here. No friggin' way. No way in hell. Jesus. Like, I'm not shitting on your... Like, I'm not shitting on your comment, Mr. Brown, at all. I'm not, but that's just like, oh my God, I can't even process that actually happening. I would die. Wow.
You would die. I would burn my record books.
Like seriously, Otis's name in the list of WWE World Heavyweight Champions would make every Wikipedia, every wrestling site just crash and burn. Shit.
Oh my God.
Oh Lordy.
Well, let's see what. Now, either that would give me a heart attack, or my Steelers are going to give me a heart attack. So we'll see.
They almost gave you a heart attack yesterday. Let's be real. Like, if my technology here is bananas, your Steelers game yesterday was like freaking a bushel of bananas. It was crazy yesterday. You guys escaped with your ass yesterday. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'm glad you did, because I'm glad there's one undefeated team left. That's cool. So and it's certainly not gonna be the Cowboys. Lord. Let's see. Here we go. Daniel says if Otis wins the championship, he'll shave his head bald. All right, there you go.
You heard it here first, folks.
I already wagered my damn hair 4 years ago, and it bit me in the ass, so I'm good. Thanks.
It bit Aaron in the ass, too.
Stupid Zack Ryder. He still hasn't blocked me for that. He blocked Aaron, but he hasn't blocked me. I find that so funny. Oh, my God. Nando says, so what do I think of Jinder running the championship? You know what? I'll take Jinder being champion again over Otis. I will. I swear I will. Because Jinder actually turned the unbelievable into it. It worked when he was shit. Like, people were so invested in him getting beat. It was like when Bradshaw was champion. Like, at least I've talked about this 100 times. I think people were so much more into John Cena beating Bradshaw because Bradshaw was such a prick.
Yeah.
But you notice, 5 months later, they were already booing John against Chris Jericho. So I think it was more of, just anybody beat Bradshaw. For the love of God, please, please, please just beat Bradshaw. When AJ finally beat Jinder, it was like, oh, it's our guy. Oh, yay! It was cool. It was a great moment. So, it was cool. Let's see. Drew McIntyre doesn't get a rematch at TLC. There's no more automatic rematches. I guess you missed that plot hole they introduced about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The entire McMahon family said no more automatic rematches because we gotta earn your shit or whatever the hell I said. Like, they haven't really gone with that because Randy Orton's had 3 championship matches in the span of 6 weeks. Like,
because there's nobody else.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, Stephanie and Shane and Hunter and Vince can stand there and say no more automatic. You have to elevate people. You have to make people believable as the contender.
Yep.
And they haven't done that. We sat here for 10 minutes earlier talking about who can, challenge Roman. It's like, okay, Seth. Yeah, okay, Seth. So, what are you going to do? So, it's, and everybody's talking about the Big E push. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
They've been apart for a month now, almost. Start pushing that big ass toward the title, by all means, but, I'll believe it when I see it. So. Yes, I'm honored today. Technology's made me upset. I don't care. Here we go. I like this for Drew McIntyre. Keith Lee. We never really got a definitive conclusion to that. I am all about that.
I am too. That'd be a nice solid match.
Because Keith honestly got the short end of that because he was the elevated guy and they weren't ready to, go all the way with him. And that's a shame because he's an all the way guy. Keith Lee's always been all the way. He's always been limitless and great.
This may be a stupid question, but does Keith Lee look a lot older on Raw than he did in NXT?
Thank you. Well, it's funny. It's the pressure of, it's the stress of heightened awareness. Lisa and I were talking about this a couple nights ago, just randomly private chat. When Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, presented the Stanley Cup a few weeks ago, he looks like he's aged 20 years this season because of this damn pandemic. He looks like absolute shit. And I don't like Bettman anyway. None of us do, because hockey fans, we don't like Gary because he's a little midget and we can't stand his ass. But I felt bad for him because he looked like he'd been through the ringer. And I understood then what it meant when people say that presidents age, decades-wise in the 4 years they're in the office, because the weight of the world is on their shoulders. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing, and I don't wish it on anybody to be in any position of power as far as commissioners of leagues or presidents of the United States or heads of state. It is a thankless friggin' job, and it just wears you down, and Gary looked like it. And maybe the pressures of Raw... Huh?
Trump hasn't aged.
Let's not say the T word. No. No T word. No T word. Nope.
Fine. 45 hasn't aged. There, you happy?
Because he's got freaking injections of crazy stuff into his system. That's why. Anyway, the man's insane. Anyway, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there today. Don't fuck with me, Mike. Oh, no. Hey, Aaron. Sorry, Aaron. It's Mikey's fault.
He's here.
Wait, Aaron.
Well, Aaron's here, but he's not in the green room waiting to come on like he said he would, poophead. I'm calling you out, boss man. Come on. No, honestly, if it wasn't for Aaron, I wouldn't be sitting here. I mean, let's be full disclosure. If Aaron hadn't come to me in the summer of 2002, the idea that he and his high school buddy were looking to do a podcast, live stuff, and just kind of, I guess I made sending a full report about 2000 because that was the first show I did in 6 years, and then I think I went to every single LA and Anaheim show in 2001. If there was a show at Pond or at Staples, I was there. It's ridiculous. So apparently I'm lagging again, which is always exciting.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, as long as you guys can hear me.
I can hear you.
So Nando says, and we talked about this last night, I think you and I did, Lisa, and maybe you and I did too, Mikey, earlier. Can you see WWE canceling Money in the Bank and only having Money in the Bank at Mania? And I'll be calling in for this one too, because it's a good question. No, because you have 2 Money in the Bank matches now, and you can't have it, like, it's weird to have 2 of the same gimmick in the same show, unless it's the gimmick-centric show. Like, to have 2 Money matches at Mania would be overkill, I would think. Am I wrong there, folks?
I mean, not necessarily wrong, but they killed the concept of the match anyway, so
Right.
it's already dead.
Right. By the way, hi Colin, how are you, buddy? It's my anniversary officially. We're actually in the real celebration because yesterday was kind of a pay-per-view thing. I had to do my thing yesterday. I had to be work guy, but yeah, I'm partying when I can. The technology's not being a bitch.
For sure.
So I like Brandon's comment. I think we should do
on one show at one time.
It is, and it's only get bigger, hopefully. I can have 10, including me. So we'll see how it goes.
Let's go.
Brandon says, I think they should do away with pay-per-views altogether. Yeah, just gone completely. I agree.
Especially having on the show. Oh my god.
God, thank you. Oh, somebody else is here. Who's here now? Who came in? Oh, look at this. The first couple of NoDQ is on the air. Hello. Let me make the picture bigger. There we go.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
Hello, you two. I was just switching your butt, saying that without you, I wouldn't be sitting here. And so again, I thank you.
Very true.
And if it wasn't for the girl next to you, I wouldn't have sanity the last 3 years. So I thank you for that. It's crazy that we were covering the October pay-per-view 18 years ago, and that's how it kind of all started.
Yeah, I remember the very first video that you did was 2004.
Right.
And before that, you guys were doing audio.
Yeah.
And I believe the first audio show you guys did, you were talking about the Katie Vick storyline and how that was the worst thing you ever saw.
Right. We were just off, like, I think NoDQ was like the week before, or like the Sunday before it was. And so it was still fresh in our minds, the whole Katie Vick thing, and then the Undertaker thing with, who turned to be the actress' name was Tracy Dolly, who was in Back to the Future Part 2, by the way. She was the mistress or whatever. The poor prison structure got a horrible October 2002. But yeah, we did that. We did the show for about a year and a half because we had our last show audio wise like in February. I think we did our last show, and that was when we interviewed, I think, Malice before he passed away, and then took a break, and then came back when we started going to PG shows regularly. We did video, and then we did one of the first big ones we did was the whole Vegas trip, where that was we actually got tossed out of the casino. That was fun. We were filming. Oops. But we interviewed a underage and being served drinks to Val. So that was we did that, and yeah, it was. It just amazed me how quick the time went, and how like everybody in here is a result of you and I and the co-hosts back then doing what we were doing for that brief period of time. It was only like 4 years total. It really was. And I sat in front of you at your desk a year later after XM ended, and Talk Wrestling started, and shit, off I went. So.
Yeah, but it was those early video shows that really set the tone for the future. And it's funny because I feel like we were very much ahead of the times. We were doing
videos before really anybody else was. We were doing all those skits every week, and we were like YouTube before YouTube even existed.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should get a Ray Piper type chart. NoDQ was YouTube before YouTube was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was no YouTube, it didn't even exist. We hosted every single audio show and every video show on your own damn server. Like, it's no wonder we didn't crap more often, for real.
Yeah, it somehow held up. And I remember all those times we almost got in trouble. Somehow, I think getting kicked out of the casino was the only time we actually did get in any kind of trouble. But you getting pushed into the Universal Studios fountain. I even showed Caitlin that when we went. I'm like, this is the spot where Jeff went in.
The worst part about that was I had this ridiculous prison, like, black and white striped Halloween costume on, and when I got pushed in, my bottoms came off. So I came out of the water with my underwear showing. I was like, oh, jeez. On camera, completely on camera, of course. So it's, that's how it was back then. Just we made ass of ourselves. Well, some of us made ass ourselves more than others. But
you got
some of us were okay with that.
You got slapped around by the human tornado, and then you got threatened by Michael Myers in Hollywood.
Amazing how that happened 16 years ago, and now I'm like Michael's #1 fan. Imagine that.
Yeah, back then you were just terrified of him.
Terrified.
But now,
well, because I
do a video or a picture with him, you'll jump at the opportunity.
Well, absolutely. It's so funny how that worked out that I was able to, not only kill the time at Disney with my friend to keep her out of the house. Michael happened to be down the street. I'm like, time killer, perfect. It took us almost an hour to walk from Disneyland to the Garden Walk and back to the car. So it was perfect the way that worked out. But yeah, it's a lot of you guys in here are the part of the Halloween panel. I'm trying to work out going into the release of Kills next year. So that'll be fun to talk about the entire saga because I never thought I would be into horror the way I am, the way I am now, and it's because of you guys in here, my friend Bailey, and it's crazy. And I have a visitor in the room. What's up?
I'll show you the video.
Okay, I'm on the air with a bunch of people right now. Can you wait?
Your door open?
Because I didn't think to close it because it's been a technology day of hell. So I'll check the video out later. Okay, I promise.
Okay, fine.
Thank you very much.
I'm popping out. I was just saying that.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by, sweetie. Thank you for coming in.
I'll stay on a little bit longer.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I was telling everybody I was supposed to be in the Thunderdome tonight for Raw with this tech issues. I'm just gonna watch Raw at 8:00 tonight like a good little boy. If I can TV access. Damn power. So so you guys are all fans. The four of you that are in here, besides they're not fans. What's your moment that you think of when you think of either myself or NoDQ? I'll start with Big G.
It'd have to be the first episode of Talk Wrestling with the whole Chris Benoit thing. I remember being on. I think I was on YouTube one day and I was like typing in wrestling shit or something like that, and you guys popped up, and I just started watching you guys' videos, and next thing you know, I was like, holy shit, there we go. I'm set for life.
13 years in.
There you go.
Yeah, I will never, ever forget where I was, who told me, and the following few weeks until I sat at Aaron's table and did the show. Because, ironically, Aaron will remember this better than anybody, and maybe Mikey, Bernie from Rocky told me first. Like, I was at work at Target, and Bernie texted me, what's going on with Benoit? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then Aaron freaking sends me a freaking, Benoit, Nancy, and I'm all going, what the out loud. My boss is like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not.
Right. Yeah, I found out from MySpace. I actually was on the MySpace bulletin page. You guys remember the MySpace bulletin?
Yeah.
I went on there and
I do.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Chris Benoit dead, and I was like, what? Like, I did a double take. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. It's funny, you say that when WWE.com posted that Eddie had died, like the big headline on WWE.com, I thought for sure it was like I didn't see the actual, the dates where he was alive, born and then died. I thought they were working a gimmick because Kennedy hit him in the head of the chair on SmackDown.
Right.
And then I looked and went, oh. So it's amazing what you remember. Psycho Jet Black with the $2 super chat. Who's more over, Slapjack, T-Bar, or Mace? The answer is always T-Bar.
None of them.
No, the answer is T-Bar because of Aaron.
T-bar.
Exactly.
The original
The
T-Bar,
OG.
damn it, that's right.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Aaron's middle name is T-Bar, if you didn't know that, Miss. So there you go. Zoogs knew that T-Bar was a cool name, back in 1982, so screw you guys. So, Brennan, MySpace, what's MySpace? He's right. No kidding. Fell flat. So, Colin, what's your definitive either Jeff Meacham or NoDQ moment prior to being part of the team?
I'm gonna have to pull a Big G and agree with Big G. I mean, a couple of days after the whole Benoit thing, just typed in Chris Benoit interviews, and somehow I ended up 13 years later still watching and hanging out and talking, and here we go.
That's crazy how that Benoit first episode of Talk Wrestling left such an impact on people. And I'll tell you this, there's quite a few people in the business that watched Jeff's stuff very religiously. There's one guy in particular who's on TV every week. I cannot mention his name because he asked me not to, but he told me, I actually saw him in person. I didn't actually meet him, but I was at the show he was at, and then he later DM'd me and said, "Oh man, I didn't realize you were at the show." And he's like, "I was such a huge fan of Talk Wrestling back in the day. I used to watch Jeff stuff religiously, and I was really flattered by that. And he's a pretty big deal right now. So I think that's really cool that Jeff made such an impact on a lot of people. And I get comments about Jeff and myself. People say, like, I don't watch wrestling anymore, but you guys are the reason I still follow it, and you guys keep me invested in it. So, I'm very humbled by that. And, that's part of what keeps me going all these years is the fact that we're able to make an impact with people just by having our thoughts on wrestling, talking about it.
It's one of those things where the guy you mentioned, like, I can't wait till we get live shows again. Because I want to go see him and thank him for being a fan. It's too cool for school. So, it's very cool. Lisa, I see your mic's off, but I'll ask you next. I'm gonna ask Mikey last because I think I know his answer. What's your enduring NoDQ / Jeff Meacham memory? Besides friendship conversation, obviously.
Well, it's kind of like Aaron said, like a lot of people I know watched it.
Right.
So that's how I kind of what is this? Right. And I think I commented. I can't remember what you were talking about at that point, but I commented on something, and then we just kind of went from there. Like, we just built a friendship from there.
Yeah, it's very much like Aaron's fiance. Like, she comment on one of the videos, and we just started chatting, and off we went, and then they hooked up, and it's bananas. It's crazy how things snowballed so quickly. Mikey, before Mikey gives his answer, I'm going to give Mikey's answer for him, because I love this story. 2 pieces. I had been hanging out with the Cassidy teen crew for a few. I not really hanging with them, but I'd gotten to know them over the PWG years toward the end of their stay at the JCC, and at the end of 2009, I started coming down frequently to hang out with them, just to get away for the weekend. Like, Jade and Dylan would be here, and I would go down to Mikey and Jay's for the weekend just to hang out. The first time I walked into the apartment, I'll never forget this as long as I live. I walked through the front door, and Mikey and Kay Spence looked up like they had seen freaking the second coming walk through the door. But the great and powerful Jeff Meacham was in their house. I couldn't fathom it. It was so funny to me that I look back now and I go, Mikey's one of the coolest friends I've got, and Kay Spence is what Kay Spence is. So it's just so funny that Mikey worked out for me, and I found that so endearing. It was so funny looking back all these years later. It's so funny, but I'm sure that's not your answer, Mikey, but I wanted to give it anyway. Well, there's the phone. Somebody's ringing.
You're taking a call?
moment.
I'm
I
not
think
taking calls. I'm not taking calls.
was the possible
Yeah, I've been asked about taking calls again. I'm just worried that we're gonna have
caller G
polls and whatever.
moment.
You know?
Right. Yeah. What I do is if I want people to come in, I send them a little StreamYard like that. They can come in and hang out or whatever. So Mikey, what's your definitive no DQ / Jeff
Anyway,
Meacham
so
fan moment?
I think the
Mikey, we're losing you, bud.
I think it would be when you came into Casa and come on. I think I'm on a lag. That's probably why it is. But
We're live,
I think
pal.
it would be when myself and you and everybody would just branch out and do their own shows. It was all on your channel, or we our 2-man shows, we would have our table shows, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I went away for a while, and here I am back, and I'm glad to be part of this family again. And
Absolutely.
who knows how far this is going to go? Just being part of this whole little family venture is the fun part.
That's very cool. Okay, Roy has the hot take, and Aaron and I will disagree with this 100%, but I'm going to throw it up there anyway.
Oh no! You really
My favorite
had to
moment
go.
was Wrestling 32.
I
No!
remember that too.
I remember
Terrible. You know what? The moment in of itself, going in to get our heads shaved at the barber, it wasn't the bad part. Just, it was such a long day. Like, WrestleMania took forever.
Yeah. I remember
We
watching
got
that
wait. It
video.
had to be what, noon, Aaron?
Yeah, that was like the longest wrestling pay-per-view ever. I think it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you remember, Aaron drove from the San Fernando Valley to Santa Clarita to get me and Dylan, then drove all the way to San Jacinto
It's about a
without like
2.5
going
hour
to
drive
freaking
from where
Palm
Jeff's
Springs and
place
shit.
is. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from where Jeff's place is.
So you figure Aaron drove a half hour up the freeway to get Dylan and I, 2.5 to get to Wade's. We're there from noon to what, 10 or 11? Like, it was ridiculous. I know Aaron getting home after midnight. I know for her, Aaron, it was a 12-hour day at least. For sure. I know it was. It was the longest damn day I've ever had working wrestling. And I've been to shows. I've been on road trips that seemed shorter than that. Like the trip that Gary and I and the gang took to NorCal up at Hayward, we left first thing in the morning and still came back the same night. We weren't out near as long as we were for Wade the Mania. It was that boring, and it wasn't a good Mania. Like, it wasn't even a good show.
Yeah, it had its moments, but I feel like it was just way too long. Like, it took maybe the best 2 hours of that WrestleMania would have been a good show, but then you got the other 4 or 5 hours of stuff that was just mediocre content, in my opinion.
It could have done with so much a smaller card, and it would have been so. I would have been okay with it. It was bad.
But it was
so. Michael's memory is. Yeah, well, it's always great to see Wade and the family. I love his family. They're
for sure.
They're great people. Mike says not the first memory, but my favorite was your with RVD.
Probably the 2008 one. That was the really big one. It got hundreds of thousands of views. That was a big hit.
Yeah, I firmly believe that the first 2 times we had Rob on with the group were good. And Rob liked us and us being around. I think the 08 interview established that you and he and I were actually friends. We're buddies, not just working together, whatever, doing the shows. And then because he made a point, and I'll never forget as long as I live. I was at Disneyland with Dylan just on a random Disney day. He and I just hanging out. He was 6, so it was 2014, and we're walking out to Harbor to catch the bus to go home, and I get a DM on Twitter from Rob saying, "You still work with NoDQ? I got something to plug." I'm like, I was at the time, but sure. So I texted him, I'm like, "Hey, I got Rob wanting to do a thing." We go to Venice Beach. Him and his ex and Dylan and I, we were on a rooftop at Venice Beach like all day. and we just cut interviews, cut promos, we did pictures, and then Aaron, God bless him, drove Dylan all the way back to Union Station, the train station downtown LA, and Dylan and I went to a Bryan concert that night at the Hollywood Bowl. So it was a hell of a day. It was a great day. So it's and of course I saw Rob at Vegas this year for my birthday, and we got to do another interview because that I do. I get Rob. I do an interview.
Oh man, you got me remembering the times that we would be driving all over the place and going to Las Vegas, and then you and your co-host at the time were getting hammered. You especially. And
hey, just because I referred to the institution as the Hall of Flame, and I couldn't have my broom key, okay? Hey, I'm saying. But no, honestly, what really surprised me about the Vegas trip, more than anything else, was we got tossed out for filming Casino, but we somehow got away with having, that was what, 18, 19 years old, having her drink on the air, and we got away with it. Like that.
Well, hopefully for your sake, there's no statute of limitations with that.
I didn't see her. Like, she went off and hung out with whoever was on the roster back then. So no skin off my ass either way. But yeah, we did that. That's what I missed the most. I mean, doing Talk Wrestling was great because I was able to go to your house and we would drive different points in SoCal and just kind of pop the tripod down, just shoot the shit. But I miss location shoots. I miss going to City Walk, and I miss going to Vegas and like doing, just random, the whole Magic Mountain show was so much fun. Like it ended up being a complete, train wreck looking back because it went nowhere in the storyline, quote unquote, but it was a fun day and we all had a blast, and I could fit on coasters back then. So it was fun for me. Can't do that now. But that was also the first time we really brought, Dylan's mom into the fray. And that was an interesting transition because then all the significant others started to come into play. It was a weird dynamic toward the end there where they all got involved and it became Yoko effect to a certain extent, yes, but also when I kind of had to do my thing and had to be at work a lot in the later part of the show in early 2006, Lee and the other co-host at the time, the taller one, and the girls could carry the show without me. It was cool that we had multiple people playing off of, and it's kind of why I like the NoDQ team now because if I can't be on a panel or a review, it's okay because you've got Colin, you've got G, you've got Virtue, you've got everybody to, pick up the slack. Whereas back then, in the early days especially, it was you, me, and the co-host. That was it. If one of us was, having an off day, the whole show sucked.
Right.
So it's great to have a team. And I think that was part of our problem back then. It's like we weren't willing to, allow the team thing to be a thing because we were so like, oh, we got to make sure we keep it tight. We got to keep it, within. I love it that we have it now. I really do.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for you guys watching Talk Wrestling, I don't think I would have gotten into this whole, on-screen video with you guys, and then Aaron giving me the chance to be on Wrestling Trivia Challenge and all that stuff like that. So it was very, very cool.
Well, really, with the trivia, it's really a chance. Really.
Yeah.
Like I said, Aaron missed it. Friday's show was a cluster. I'll apologize in advance, boss, because my prediction was so spotty because of the stupid hotspot thing. Mikey said I looked like crap the entire time. So if the show was bad Friday, it's totally on me, and I'm sorry. So.
We do the best we can with the technology. Sometimes
we really do.
A little shoddy. We just have to make the most of it.
Oh, I like this. Jet Black says, my first memories are round table back in 08. I remember that was for the 10-year for NoDQ, where the four of us sat down. That was I forgot about that. That was a cool show. And then also when Aaron started showing up on video, he looked and sounded so awkward. That was back in the summer of 11 after I bailed. And God bless him, man. Aaron picked up the slack and ran. He grabbed the ball and ran like hell. And he's you have come, and I say this to Caitlin and everybody all the time. As much as I hate the way I did what I did 9 years ago and left the way I left, you stepped up, and I am so proud of how far you have come as a on-screen personality. Like you weren't that guy when we did XMV. You just weren't. You were the camera guy. You would occasionally pop on, to get beat up just because it was funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or get shit thrown at you by the superstars or by us because it was funny. But you never had to carry the load, and you picked up and went with it. Granted, there were a few blooper shows that made the reel, which was funny, of course. But you really established yourself as, I don't need Jeff. I got this.
Yeah, I never needed to be on camera. See, what happened was in 2004, I got my first iMac, and I just fell in love with the video production using Final Cut Pro. And I was doing the NoDQ CAW stuff, and I was having a blast with that. And then I had this idea like, well, you and your co-host were doing audio shows, and I'm like, well, we all live relatively close. We live in the same county. Why not get together and do what we were doing audio, but do it video instead? And nobody was doing this at the time. So you guys agreed to do it. And I had you guys to be the people in front of the camera, and I could do the video production. And, that's what led to us doing all the on location stuff and the skits. And we just had a blast with it, creativity wise. There were so many things we could do with it, where we were training your co-host to have a match, and then we went to the PWG shows, and that was a blast. And just going to indie shows. I remember 2006, we saw a couple of young bucks wrestling, and this was like their first year in the business, and look where they're at now.
Dude, one of their first matches outside of their home promotion, was me managing Teddy Hart and Marcus against them for Gary. Like, yes. I look back and I go, I worked a match against the Young Bucks. I just the completely, pardon my French here and on your kid, but I completely what the fuck at that. I'm like, what? It blows my mind to this day. You know what I remember, and I miss these, and Brandon makes a good point about shoot interviews. I miss the interviews so much. Like, we would go to Gorilla and we would just cut material, man. We would get 4 or 5 in a show. Like, we would go early as hell. We'd help set up, and we'd get reimbursed by opportunity to cut promo. And we had Joe when he was the Ring of Honor champion. We had Chris Hero before he became Cassius Ohno. We had James Gibson, not Jamie Noble. We had AJ and Daniels and Frankie. And Frankie was our guy, man. Before Rob became our guy, Frankie Zarian was our guy. Like, we love Frankie. It's through doing the interviews I met Jack Evans, who was Dylan's godfather when he was born. So it's just crazy how the evolution of this of NoDQ and how the latter half of the last 22 years has just been just crazy. And just when I think about that, we started this just 4 years into the existence of the website. Like, it was only 4 years old when we started Extreme Mayhem. And just the fact that it went through so many evolutions of a name. The actual domain name changed so many times before we went, okay, NoDQ.
Well, funny story is that you guys were not on board with NoDQ at first.
No.
You're like,
hated it.
Yeah, that was a little strange that you guys weren't on board with that, because I was thinking this is a perfect domain name because it's 4 letters. It's easy to type in, There's all these wrestle whatever sites, and I just wanted to have something that was a little bit different, short, to the point.
Right.
So I was really surprised when it was available too, because even by 2004, most domain names were not available, especially wrestling terms. And for a term like NoDQ, which wrestling fans will immediately associate with wrestling, I was like, perfect. And I went for it. I jumped at the chance.
Yeah, my co-host, we fought him for weeks. It's like, no, come on. And then I forget who it was. Somebody cut a pro, one of the wrestlers cut a pro saying, you're watching XMV and NoDQ. And I went, okay, that works.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you who it was now. It may have been AJ doing it 16 takes, maybe. But I don't know. But yeah, it just, once I heard it, by somebody besides you saying, I'm like, okay, I like it. It makes sense. So, but yeah, he and I bitched at Aaron for weeks. God, why are you changing it? We established it. It's like the damn show name's Extreme Mayhem. Why are we? It's so frustrating, but it worked out because here we are.
Yeah, definitely did.
So it's funny now looking back that there's been so many, people that, go to NoDQ to this day for, they go there to look for news from, the other outlets, and NoDQ kind of centralizes it and makes it, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my little web link that I do for my website. I just, like JeffMeachamNetwork.com takes you to YouTube, Anchor, you guys, Greg, everything. It's just all right there. I like that it got streamlined like almost right away. I mean, like it was, you go to the main site and then just news, and then the video links were there, and then the columns were there, and that was it. And it was just as simple. I like the simplicity of the layout, and I've always liked that about your website. The fact that it was very the first web name. I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't want to get Vince calling up my.
I don't think it meant. Well, first of all, I mean it's the World Wildlife Fund's name.
Okay, okay, fine. Screw them pandas. When it was www.com, it was very busy. There was a lot of graphic. There was a lot of shit everywhere. It was kind of everywhere.
You know how it was back in the day. Like the internet was in its infancy, and everyone just wanted to put all these flashy images and stuff.
Yes, I remember.
And it was. I remember when websites used to take like 2 minutes to load because of dial-up internet. You were getting booted off the internet, like you go on and you get booted off, and you hear the noise that it's being disconnected, and you're like, oh no. And you try to go on like Napster and download stuff, and then the
friggin' Napster. Oh my god, dude. Dude, I think we alone caused more trouble with Napster than any other wrestling website because we were using everybody's theme. It was terrible. We were terrible.
I hope there's no statute of limitations on that.
Right. But yeah, you're right about the busy. But yeah, remember, you guys remember something? 1998, Aaron and I were teenagers. Like, we were 15, 16 years old. So like, it's so of course it's going to look like a teenager run it but you know what? I said this then, I'll say it now with the website and with the video and the audio. You went to school to do stuff like that. So you knew what you were doing going in. So I commend your education with video production and everything, actually, prepping you for,
wait
for a living now.
Are you talking about high school video production?
Did you go to college for video production? Oh,
okay. The most experience I had was in high school. There was like the wood shop class or whatever. They had
electives.
They had computers in there, and I started spending all my time doing video editing. Like most of the time that I had free during high school, I would just be on the computer learning the video editing program, and that was how I passed the time.
Oh well, shit! There you go.
Yeah, we even did a video for our graduation class, and I helped edit that together. Yeah, that was a fun moment. I wish I had the video. That's lost now, unfortunately. And we edited backyard wrestling footage there too. Like people would send in their backyard wrestling clips, and we edited it together. I have a VHS tape of it somewhere, and then we have some of our clips of the backyard fed that I had back in the day, which was the worst backyard wrestling federation of all time. I mean, when you think of backyard wrestling, you think of people jumping off ladders and doing all these crazy stunts, but we were more storyline oriented. So each of us played like 4 different characters, and we'd have these wacky costumes, and we'd just cut promos on each other. And the matches were terrible. We really didn't do anything dangerous, nothing you would expect. It was like just theater, basically.
I forget who it was, and if you don't want to say his name, that's fine.
We're not saying
one video I'll remember for sure on the back, seeing the backyard stuff you fed through XMV. The chair bump in your office, like somebody went on your, like bounced off your office chair and went flying over the other side of it. I don't know if it was the younger guy. I know it wasn't my co-host because he was too
Austin.
But huh?
Austin.
Yeah, it was Abney. Yeah, dude, just watching him. This kid is like maybe this big, guys. Like he's like this tiny. He's still tiny. He was that tiny in 2003 when we went to Raw to see Austin come back. I don't know if they were having a match. I don't know what, but he dove into the office chair and bounced like a damn ping pong ball. And I was like, I'm watching. He's sitting right next to me, right? And I'm watching. How are you not dead? Like, how are you?
I'm amazed he didn't go to the hospital. That was probably the most dangerous thing that happened, and that was just him being an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't even the comments of a match. That was just him being him. But the one I remember we aired during one of our storylines on the XMB show. Somebody like got hit like in the face with a broomstick or something, or they stepped on a broom. It's just some stupid freaking Jack Tripper like physical comedy shit. And I was just like, how are you guys still functioning as human beings right now? It just like that was forever why I freaking didn't do backyard, because it was crazy. Guys are nuts.
No, I don't blame you on that. Looking back at it, like it was idiotic.
But again, teenagers do teenager things. Teenagers are stupid people. They just are. So, Cleaver says my phone just shut off. I don't know what happened. Sorry, guys. It hasn't turned back on. That's okay, Colin. No worries, brother. Glad to have you on when we did. So let me ask you, boss, since you're here.
Sure.
There's probably too many NoDQ memories too, because it's your baby. What's your, like, when you think back on 18 years of me doing this stuff, the videos and the audio with you, what sticks out the most in your mind?
Well, probably the stuff we did in Vegas, just because it was you at your craziest. And that time we were in San Diego and we got lost, and it was like 2 a.m. So Jeff had this band that he was friends with. I guess they went back to high school, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually told this story 2 weekends ago because I was at Jenna's birthday party. I was retelling this story. So I was doing merchandise for Jenna, my friend Jenna's band. They were called Rue. It was the four of them were on a gig in San Diego, and Aaron and my co-host and I.
Trouble.
I didn't say the name. I said my
co-host. That's worse than using profanity.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Aaron and my co-host and I, we went down in Aaron's car. And we brought a friend of mine who was of the female persuasion, who I was not involved with. She just was a friend or whatever.
Oh, that hotel episode! Oh
my God, so bad, so much alcohol. Anyway, after the show, the guitar player and I are just blitzed. We are like 3 sheets of 3 sheets. It was bad. It's so bad. And he and I are in the back seat, and Aaron and my co-host are in the Aaron's driving, and the co-host is in the co-pilot seat. And we're trying to get to the hotel. The hotel, if you guys are familiar with San Diego, the hotel is off the 8 freeway in San Diego. The 8 freeway is kind of like this little roundabout freeway that kind of goes like this for a while. We knew the exit, but Echo and I, we wanted Carl's Jr. We saw Carl's, like, Aaron, we gotta get Carl's. And like, we weren't like stoned hungry. We were just like, we were drunk and we wanted food. So it took 3 different treks around the entire 8 freeway to get off at the right exit to get to Carl's. Aaron pulls the car up just far enough where Echo and I can lean out the back seat and give our order. Somehow we got the food we wanted. I couldn't tell you what I ordered. I was so messed up. And we get finally back to the hotel, and I just go into Rue's room, and I'm partying with them, and we're, turning on whatever. And Aaron is not fond of the alcohol. Let me point that out right now. He is not fond of booze at all. He's not a booze guy, never has been, never will be, and God bless him for it. He's better off for it. He came in with the co-host, and they're both chewing me out, and just we're going back and forth. And I said, you know what, fine, F you, just leave me here, get the out of here, I'll go home by my damn self. And they left.
Ooh. Did we
Aaron and the co-host just no. You and him got in the car the next morning. You slept and you left, and Jenna drove me home.
I thought you went with us, but
nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
He left me. Well, I told him to. I'm like, get the hell out of here. I told him, and he left. So he did what I asked.
Yeah, that one was a pretty chaotic night. And then I just remember the stuff with X-Pac and him smoking pot in my car, and I was freaking out. And he's like, dude, I got a medical card. Don't worry about it.
Dude, Aaron, you guys remember something? Before Aaron, kind of got out into the world, if you will, he like Sean smoking in his car was blowing his mind. He was like, "Oh, bummer."
Well, cops could potentially seize your car, and this is when it was still not legal recreational wise.
Right, but he did have the car, so we were okay. And the thing is, we weren't in familiar like territory because I'd never been where we went. I know you hadn't been. Maybe our co-host had been, but I don't think he'd been there either. But it was one of Sean's frequent haunts, a smoke shop and merchandise store kind of.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we did the interview there, and we did a promo there with Sean. And like I said, we had a good night looking back, but the trek down there was perilous. But that was so weird because I don't know if you guys remember that far back or not. We were there. Aaron and myself and Austin and my co-host at the time were at the house where Joni and Sean were staying the New Year's Eve that Joni got arrested.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest nights that we ever had.
That is to this day the craziest night I've ever had.
Well, I missed out on most of the craziness
because I told you, like, I'll never forget this long because I don't know where this moment of Zen comes from in my life. I swear to God, but like, it got to the point where Joni and Sean were just back and forth, and I'm like, oh, it's bad. It's like, and I'd seen Joni like this before, so I knew it was gonna get really bad, really quick. So I was like, okay, so I gathered. What? I know.
No, mute the mic real quick.
Oh.
That's okay.
Guys, I'm sorry.
They're having some issues, but yeah, that night was pretty wild. Jeff basically told me to just leave, just go. He had a sense that something bad was going to go down. So myself and the co-host, we took off, and then everything went crazy. China got arrested.
I went to Aaron and Austin and our co-host, and I said, you guys just need to go. And Aaron, to his credit, went, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'll get home. I can't. I felt guilty leaving Sean's kids there.
Yeah.
Like, without rational adults. Like, I'm not saying Sean was not like our kids, but he and Joni were just such a bad place. And God bless him for turning everything around. I'm so proud of Sean for turning his shit around. But like, I knew that somebody had to be the bastion of sanity and look out for the kids. So I told the three of them, I said, just go, I'll get home. So not too long after the ball drop, Joni got carted off with the cops because her and Sean were just at it, and she kept hitting him, and Sean said, you hit me more time, I'm going to call the cops. And she sure as shit did, and he sure as shit did. And Joni, I mean, I'll never forget, Joni, was hands behind her back, and she gave me a kiss on the cheek.
Jeff,
and said,
I hate
talk
to
to you
interrupt,
soon.
but
Go ahead.
I'm going to try and reconnect through my laptop. So if I...
Okay.
Okay, cool. Go for it. Okay. So,
Is that cool? Or
that's fine. Yeah, just fine. You're lagging big. Just go. You're good. Just go.
Just go like
here, wait,
we had to in 2004, 2005.
Right. Yeah. So
what year did this happen in?
Yeah, it was
New Year's Eve 2004 going into 05.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the last
You were like
So Joni leans over and gives me a kiss, says, I'll talk to you soon, but I never talked to her again.
Wait, Big G, how old are you again?
32.
All right, so you're not that young. I keep thinking of TJS when I think of the young people in our group. TJS is a baby. He's like 22, 23 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's the youngest one of the bunch of
I think so.
I think at this point he is, yeah. Anyway, so Aaron and Austin and our co-host went home, and Joni got arrested, and we all just kind of like crashed out for a while, and then I woke up in the morning, and if you're familiar with the area of where we are, their place was near the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah, we actually went there New Year's Eve night and got turned away because we weren't.
China could not get in.
She tried. Well, no, China got in. Joni got in, but she couldn't bring us with. So I got sent back to y'all's car. We went back to the house.
I thought she did not get in because that's what led to the stuff with Waltman because we all went back.
She got in and partied harder and then came home and started shit with Sean.
Oh.
Because she came home in her freaking Inoki jacket and was just, I got respect. Oh my God.
I mean, she was not in her right mind before that.
No, she was messed up on the way up there. And I'm like, this is not going to turn out well. Half's not going to like this, but
right.
Whatever. Anyway, so we woke up in the morning. It was me and Sean, and Sean's kids were there, I think, still. And Sean looked at me, he goes, "How you getting home?" I said, "I don't know." He drove me from near the Playboy Mansion to this house.
That's a long drive. That's probably close to an hour.
And not over the freeway. We went up Balboa the whole.
So yeah, that's well over an hour.
We took surface streets.
Not familiar with the area.
Because we took. Let's see, that's in Beverly Hills. We went
probably Sepulveda to Balboa.
Yeah, we took. Yeah, thank you. We took Sepulveda to Balboa to San Fernando. Yeah, it took forever. And God bless Sean. He walks in. He goes, "You okay, bro?" I said, "Yeah." And Sean looks at my dad. He goes, "Sir, can I please go pee?" I've been driving for over an hour. So I can say that X-Pac peed in my restroom.
I know that's the biggest claim to fame your house has ever had.
Oh no, Mr. Rift, you know better than that.
Oh, the time that Terry Runnels was
before that even. Come on. On the Answer Machine in 2003, promoting his rap album. Macho Man, there you go.
Macho Man leaving a voicemail.
Yeah, he didn't leave voicemail. Macho Man was talking to the screen call. My mom marked that, and I'm like, "Okay, I got it, Mom. Thanks." Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, Randy calling the house was surreal. I mean, growing up when I grew up, it was Hogan and Savage, man. So it was just weird to have him call the house. Just bizarre. And then we met him a year later at Turning Point. It was just weird. Like Randy, I think, was the biggest star I had met at that point because it was Randy Savage.
Yeah.
But, over the years we've met, many, many folks. It's been cool.
I'm not going to be too mean to you, but I remember when we went to Jimmy Kimmel and you wanted to meet Hulk Hogan and you weren't able to do so and you were very upset.
I'll tell it. That's fine.
Okay, I didn't want to throw you under the bus too much here.
I don't care. It's my party. I'll cry if I want to. And I did. So Aaron and the co-host and I went to Jimmy Kimmel when he was promoting Hogan Knows Best, right? Or was he just there?
Sure, he might have just been there. I think
because it was 03, so I think he was just there, like just there to shoot the breeze with Jimmy, I think. But yeah, I had been told that if I went out to the back patio and waited like a good little Hulkamaniac, that I would get time. Freaking Hulk walked out there.
Back patio, that's an alley back there.
I'm trying to glam the place up, Mikey. Be nice to me. Freaking back out there in Hollywood, which is always good stuff. Anyway, so Hollywood Boulevard, freaking Jimmy Kimmel time. Anyway, so we're in the back alley there, and this big Hummer pulls up, and Linda gets out, and Hulk walks up, and he walks by us, looks at us, does the whole thing, gets the pop, and walks away. And I'm crestfallen. Just a complete mess. Co-host is laughing at me. Aaron didn't know what the hell to do with himself. To laugh at me or feel bad for me. So he did both. It wasn't until 6 years later that I got to meet Hulk. So I did that my damn self on my own time. No cameras, no XMV. I did my own damn thing.
Yeah, I remember you tried to get Hogan on, but couldn't make it happen for like an interview.
It's one of those things where, unfortunately, now he and Jimmy both have to go through the guy at the office, and I have to. I made a request to this guy, and I haven't heard back, so I'm probably not going to, and that's fine. I get that it's me, and I get that it's us, and we're not the popular kids in the room, and that's fine. But I called Jimmy. I'm like, "Hey, what do I do here?" And he goes, "I'll tell you what, you got to call this guy and, let him know I said to call him. That way, he knows that we're trying to, trying to do right by the office." And, it's same thing with Hulk because, we don't want to cause any more problems. I said, well, definitely don't want to cause problems. So I'm doing the right thing because I remember when we first started doing the shows, and I'm going to get in trouble if I say where I got the information from, so I won't say it out loud, but I got access to Sting's number, Steve Borden.
No way.
And yep, I again, I won't say how. I'll tell you guys off air because most of you probably know anyway, based on my history. But I called the house and asked for an interview, and he asked me how I got the number, and I told him, and he said, "Well, when you can be above ground and do it the right way, give me a call." Click.
That sounded mean.
He wasn't too happy with my infringement on his personal information. Yeah, let's put it that way.
I guess not.
But it's okay. Steve's a nice guy, and he, like I said, he and I had a great talk right after WCW folded. We were the place I was working at the time out here locally. He was a frequent customer at Blockbuster Video, and he came with his family, and the wife at the time and the kids kind of video shop, and he and I talked the business for about 20 minutes, and I asked him then, this is in May of 2001, you gonna work with Vince? He goes, probably not. I don't know what Vince will do with Sting, and I'm worried about that.
Well,
and it took what, 13 years?
He got there, and then he was pretty much right.
Yeah, and it's so bad that it fell apart so quick. It's such a shame. Wade mentions Jerry Lawler having that same kind of call with him. I actually called the King a couple different times. I called Jerry once. It was when we were still doing the interviews on XMV, and he told me at the time that he had to go through the office and he didn't want to make waves or whatever. So whatever. So we said thank you, but no thank you. And then when he had his heart attack, I called him to the message on his phone and said, Jerry, I hope you are okay, and we're all with you. And he actually sent me a text saying, I appreciate the call, Jeff. Thank you. So Jerry's good people.
Sometimes, bro, I love your stories, but I'm so jealous of you half the time.
Right?
I've been very
talk
blessed.
to all these cool people, and
remember, Mikey, I have the gift, the blessing of this guy, being, the freaking, not the pimp, because that's a horrible word, but, the guy behind the scenes, pulling, fucking Pinocchio and everything. The co-host and I made the calls. Yes, the co-host and I arranged interviews, but it was Aaron that gave us the platform. And without Aaron's platform, we got nothing back then. So,
yeah.
I will say that the few interactions I've had that didn't lead to interviews, that were just, cool meet and greets, or, pre-arranged meet and greets that only a select few of us got to be involved with, are always cool. It's like meeting people at Access, or like this, when the Costa crew went to Vegas, when Punk cut his infamous promo, and we got to meet John at back of the arena. That was cool to have John come up and talk to us, and talk to the fans there. And it's, John have to do that. He's doing the gym thing. He's WWE champion John Cena. He's got his busy schedule, but he stopped and made time for us. That was super cool of him, and I can't thank him and everybody that is with him enough for that. It's such a cool moment. Right. And I got a great picture out of it, and it was awesome. And Vicky Guerrero was there. We got a great promo out of her that day. It's cool stuff like that. It's really neat to have those memories, be it on air with Aaron, or the co-host, or the Costa crew, or here with you guys now, whatever. And then there's just the moments where they're mine. I can tell the Hulk Hogan story, the bookstore and the all day thing, but that's me. And I didn't get that picture because I'm Jeff Meacham from NoDQ. I got it because I'm a Hulkamaniac, and I went down there and I waited all day, and I, bided my time. And yes, being acquainted with Jimmy Hart certainly didn't hurt, because he encouraged me to hang out and see if I could get the picture. And, I had bookstore security up my ass trying to get me to not, ask for it, because, you couldn't do the pose picture, you could do the handshake thing, and then you got to leave. No, they weren't called selfies back then, but no selfies. And I got my selfie, goddammit. So that, I've told everybody in my circle, including Aaron, interview or not, if I can meet The Undertaker and I can meet Ric Flair, I'm good. Because I met everybody else I wanted to meet, pretty much, honestly.
Still your bucket list?
Yeah, I mean, Taker's the top at this point. Flair's up there, and I like to do that soon, just in case he has another health scare. At this point, the Four Horsewomen. I mean, I've met Bailey when she was Davina Rose, and I met Becky at Mick Foley's.
You weren't at the Ric Flair signing I went to? could have sworn you were there.
No, sir. No, sir. Never met Ric Flair once, ever.
Damn.
I've never been to a signing with you outside of an arena show, as far as I know, or a SummerSlam.
HBK.
Yeah, that was my signing. I tagged you into that one, to be fair. So.
Oh, that was all you. I thought I saw this first.
I said I tagged you in. I didn't say it was all me, shithead.
Oh, Jeff. Another moment that I remember, because Wade's in the chat room. Shout out to Wade of ringscoops.com. I remember
Wade.
When we were in San Jacinto in 2006, and we basically had what was now the 24/7 title, where what was it, the CAW title brought to real life.
Oh God, yes.
And we had that match where the title just kept changing hands every couple of minutes. That was a lot of fun.
That was I'm grateful that wasn't the last moment of the XMV. I'm still gonna be the Eagles song to start the end of the show, because God, that match was a cluster, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and besides interviewing the wrestlers and all that, just getting to meet all sorts of different people and creative people too that brought a lot of interesting ideas to the table. That was a blast. I met countless people, awesome people through the channel and the site and everything, and that was definitely a highlight as well. And
yeah, it was really cool.
Also.
It was really cool. Like, I mean, if I couldn't be in New York when Rob won the title, it was cool to be around everybody at Wade's house to see that happen, because that was a personal moment, like, for all of us, because Rob was our guy. Like, he was NoDQ's guy, and he became the world champion. So
I got the story.
What's your story?
Derevko, go ahead.
Which time?
Battleground.
The promo or the match?
The match when I had to take care of Dylan.
Okay. All right. So, Mikey likes to compare this moment with the human tornado bitch slap of myself and Stagger Lee. Honestly, the moment here is a lot more real, because it was a legit boo-boo on my head. And everybody's frozen but me, it looks like. Oh, no, Aaron's moving. Okay, good. Okay. So, I'm working an angle, lack of a better term, with a company called Battleground Pro, and Dylan he had either 5 or 6, maybe even younger.
Oh,
than that,
younger.
Yeah,
I think he was 3 or 4.
We weren't even down there. He had just turned 3 so it was at least 4.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's about 4 years old, and I had done an angle at a previous show where this one Russian guy, Sasha Derevko, shoved me against a locker and hurt my neck, right? So I walk out at the next show, seconding Sasha's opponent, and I'm wearing a neck brace. And I've got a Russian bear claw to piss off Sasha, and I've got Russian vodka to piss off Sasha. So I go around the ring. I'm babyface manager, so I'm high-fiving everybody. I high-five this really big guy in a mask. I'm like, okay. So I'm doing the babyface cheering and being a good little boy, and I get clubbed from behind. It turns out the guy in the mask pulled off his mask. It was Sasha's brother, Alexis Derevko, this big, huge bear of a Russian, right? So I realize I'm echoing bad. I'm sorry. I'm unplugged today, guys. I have my tech has been poop. I apologize. So
you're good. Keep going.
So Alexis clubs me, just whacks me right between the shoulder blades, and I go down like a ton of bricks, and my head hits the tile. Oof. Like right here. Just like, I'm playing headbutt with the floor, and I lost again. So and then Alexis commences to beat me down, and my head's just bing, 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 bing off the floor.
Don't do that, it hurts.
Dylan didn't know exactly. Dylan didn't know the art of the business back. He's 4 years old, right? So he's flipping his shit, losing his mind. Uncle Mikey, God bless him, gets him. They freaking cart me up like a sack of taters and drag my ass to the back.
No, that was me.
Okay,
I picked you up.
Fine. Oh, okay, cool. Mikey, like I said, headbutts repeated, memory bad. So somebody got my ass in the back, and I had somebody either Mikey told me or somebody told me that Dylan was freaking out front. So they brought me into this little hallway we had where it was like the bathroom was there and like you could get access to the back if you wanted to, but they didn't let the crowd in there. That way we could have
kayfabe.
Kayfabe, thank you. God. So they brought Dylan back, and Dylan sees that I've got this big lump on my head, so he knows I'm hurt, but I'm not crying. So he sees Daddy's okay. Mikey takes Dylan back out, and I just like ice, please. Like I think I popped like 20 Tylenol just to get the headache to go away. It was so bad.
Right.
To answer Wade's question, we did not revisit that yet. We will definitely do that right now if you don't mind, Aaron.
What? I must have missed the message.
Wade says, I came in late. Did you visit the Luther Reigns thing?
Oh no, yeah, that was a pretty unfortunate incident. What was the show? UPW, right?
UPW. Okay, so we were like not employed by UPW, but Josh had asked us to help out because there was just they were short staffed or whatever it was. So they asked co-hosts to use your NoDQ camera to ringside film, and they had you and me up in the balcony, like overseeing like a long shot from the balcony. They did like a establishment shot, whatever the fuck they call it back then. So we're up in the balcony, and Luther comes out to cut a promo. He had just been released. And this is fresh off him being Kurt Angle's, Kurt Angle's bitch. That's what the crowd was calling him. So he's just cutting promo. And all of a sudden the crowd starts, you were Kurt's bitch, clap, like repeatedly. And Luther's just losing it. And horseshoe, thank you, Wade. He looks at the camera that co-host is holding and he says, turn that thing up. I said, turn that damn. And he whacked the camera as hard as he could, smacked it into co-host's face. Could have hurt the guy. Aaron's camera never recovered from that. Like his camera was forever like augmented, bent.
But it still worked.
Aaron on the balcony going, oh shit. And we grabbed the tripod and we bailed downstairs. We were like, I think I ran that fast since high school at that time. Like it had been years since I ran that fast. We were just booking our asses down there, and co-host is spit.
What? We lost him.
Well, we lost the host of this. Well, I'll finish this. So, anyways, we ran down there, and
I got it. Yeah, we ran down there, and we got him out of there, and got a great promo out of it out back, and we ended up cutting promos with Scott Lost and Val and Frankie. It ended up being a decent night, other than that.
Yeah, somehow the camera survived, and it was not really damaged beyond what you said. I mean, maybe it was like a little dented or whatever, but yeah, it was still working, which, considering how it flew, I'm shocked that it was not broken.
Yeah, I mean, he smacked that camera out of the co-host's hand, and somehow it landed in a way where it didn't destroy the thing. I was completely flabbergasted it didn't break. And I remember eventually Horseshoe apologized to us. It wasn't that night at all. But he eventually did. He did to me later, and then it turned out that do you remember when we did the Fit Pit show where we got in trouble for doing the women's match thing, or I did? Remember that?
Wasn't that 2011?
It may have been 2010, but either way, one of those two. It had been 2010 because I was gone the following year. So when we did that show, Horseshoe showed up as Ryan's guest, and he had already been the steroids had just ruined his body. He was a mess, and he looked at me and he kind of gave me the cockeye and then looked over and he saw you over there. I forget, you were talking to somebody you were talking to, and he goes, man, I feel I'm trying to get right with everybody. I feel so bad and I'm so sorry. I'm like, whatever, Horseshoe, karma got you anyway, dude. So you do what you gotta do. And I walked away.
I'm glad he apologized. I am
too, but it's one of those things where it was freaking what, 6 years? Like, dude, like who cares really at this point? The camera still worked. You didn't get any more over than you did. We got more over than you did. So screw you.
Well, there you go. Hey Jeff, I got to bounce and get ready here for Raw, but it was
Enjoy.
a pleasure to be on here. Pleasure to
Thank
talk
you,
to
sir.
everybody. Good
Thank you very
seeing you
much, sir.
guys. And thank you to everybody tuning in and supporting. We hope you will continue to watch and support. Follow everybody involved here. Follow Jeff, of course. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest. And who knows what crazy stuff we'll come up with. One of these days, Jeff and I will be back in person, and we're going to do something nuts. Whenever that day comes, hopefully 2021, but no guarantees. One of these days, we will do a throwback. We'll do something on the roller coasters or whatnot. But one of these days, we're gonna get wild, and we're gonna give people something great with the NoDQ team reunited. It's just a matter of time. So stay tuned. Big things to come. And Jeff, tell Dylan I said hi. Hope he's doing well. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you coming in, brother. And again, thank you for everything. Honestly.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Take care.
Take it easy,
Aaron.
brother.
Dylan, let Aaron in. Aaron, Jesus. Dylan, let Betsy in, please, before you leave. Yeah, why can't you? Oh, Christ. Hang
What
on,
is Betsy
Betsy.
doing?
Good grief. All right, so question in. Okay, Wade. No, I'm not a fan of Lucky's work. I don't watch her current stuff. Manuel says, "How'd you come up with the name Talk Wrestling?" That was actually Aaron's thing. When we were going to do the show in 2007. Aaron was contracted with a name, just a basic name, to assign my show, and it ended up that he had heard of a show called Talk Sex. Very simple. They talk about sex. It's very very simple. So Aaron went, Jeff talked about wrestling. Talk wrestling. Boom. Done. Okay, I gotta run a commercial because the dog's going nuts. I'll be right back, you guys. Let me just run this. Where's the commercial? Where is?
I can take over.
I got it. And we're back. Hi, Adam.
Okay, we're back.
Sorry, my dog heard Dylan leave, and she's going cuckoo. So, man's here. Greg Cherry. Where's Greg Cherry? I don't see Greg Cherry in here. Is Greg in the chat room? Come on, Greg. We still got 13 minutes or so before the show's over. Or almost,
I'm not even seeing the chat.
Well, you might not be able to do it on your platform. I don't know.
There it
Yuck
is.
says Retribution. Where do they go from here?
They go straight
nowhere.
to hell.
Thank you, Lisa. Nowhere, exactly. Yeah, they were, like I said, they were dead and buried. Last week, 30 minutes after I went off the air here on Talk Wrestling. Like, I was done at 5, and at 5:30 they had been buried. So I cremate the remains and distribute them among the Thunderdome. What are you supposed to do? Why are you back?
I need to get my phone drawer. Can I tell my story now?
Really quick.
All right.
So Dylan's going to talk about his perspective from when I got knocked down and knocked in the head by the Russians, and Mikey saved the day.
So, at the beginning of the show, there's this kid, and I talked to him, and he just kind of ignored me, so I was like, whatever, just kid being kid. And all of a sudden, I feel something wet from my neck, and I look behind me, and he's spitting on me. Literally spitting on me. So
I don't remember this part of the story.
So I'm already pissed as I am, and Mom's there, and all of a sudden this dad gets hit on the floor, and I just sit there in disbelief, and I go to pick up the chair, and Mom's like, Dylan. And unfortunately, Dad goes, hold this, and gives Mom his glasses,
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
And then Uncle Mikey and Uncle Jay took you back because they were on the top recording.
Okay.
And Mom Lou had to sit me down.
Hold on.
Grab a chair.
Uncle Jay wasn't there. Okay, if you
Hurry
gotta
up,
go,
Dylan, before Uncle gets mad. He has to go.
let me take the story here.
Wade says hi, Dylan.
The thing was this. You got punched in the neck. You were wearing the neck brace. That's where he hit you. And that's when you hit the ground.
Okay.
And so...
That was at Massive, though, not Battleground.
No, it was at Battleground.
No, Mikey. The neck brace came up because I was working Battleground for Sam, and Sasha punched me and pushed me up against the locker and hurt my head.
Well, that's what caused the neck brace. But when you were at Battleground, and when Alexis punched you,
right?
Then he does his thing in the ring. I pick you up. I take you to the back.
Right.
I see Dylan crying with Jade.
Yeah.
I came and told you. I'm like, Dylan's really hurting here. What do you want me to do?
Right.
You said, bring him to me.
Right.
I went and got him. I took him into the bathroom. I cleaned his face up.
Right.
And then he went back and saw you.
Right.
And everything was A-okay.
Exactly.
I don't remember the spitting or anything like that.
I don't either. I'm sure he just wanted to say it. Whatever. So, question from Manuel: how come Virtue was never a trivia champion? Because he didn't beat me the first day. He has his chance. Black Friday.
Yep.
He has his opportunity. But Greg has to get through Friday's show, which again is a cluster. I'm sorry. And then in 2.5 weeks, 3 Fridays. How about that? 3 Fridays from now, I got something good in mind for Greg if he gets to that show. So stay tuned for the post game on Friday. It's Booker says it's going to be good. So, let's see. Todd said, what happened?
Nothing. I'm just.
No. Todd says Retribution had a title match last night. Wouldn't that satisfy their complaint about getting overlooked? Yeah, I mean, but then again, Ali made the challenge. MVP chose to make it a title match with Lashley, so it's kind of a
joke.
Give and take there. The whole thing is stupid. Like I've said from the get-go, it was stupid.
Like they could have
talk
done
about this on the air.
Yeah, they could have done something good with it,
right.
but they screwed it up.
Well, the fact of the matter is this.
Now there's no coming back from where they are now. You can't come across as this big, powerful group now.
Right.
No.
The fact of the matter is this. Yeah, the fact of the matter is you had a group who attacked the PC and rough shit up, and then their response to that group who's being militant and attacking, we'll sign them to a contract. And then not only do you sign them, but when you have a chance to lose them in the draft, you make sure you draft them and keep them. The whole booking of this faction is just bass backwards. It's terrible.
And then with Ali, saying he's the hacker and everything, well, then that whole storyline was just dumb now. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
I mean, I don't mind that he's the hacker. It's just the timing, the continuity of the story does not line up. It's terrible. So,
yeah,
it's dumb. Well, anyway, I've got my phone, which the charger I had it on is dead, which is always happy. I'm down to 10% on the hotspot, so I need to wrap this up. So let me go ahead and get the plugs in. I do appreciate everybody being on, Aaron and Caitlin and Colin and everybody here, G and Lisa and Mikey, thank you so much, and everybody in the chat room. I love you guys. Webmaster Wade, I miss you, dude. I miss you so much. Like, I swear to God, I need to get to San Jacinto just to hang for a day, to get the hell out of this friggin' house and just hang with you and Crystal, because I miss you guys so much. Coming up this week, you guys saw the commercials. Tomorrow is Stat Boy Sports Bar. We will be on the air before the World Series, so keep that in mind. However, if the Dodgers are looking like they're going to wrap it up in the top of the 8th, I'm going live. So if Mikey wants to be there, good on Mikey. I appreciate Mikey, but I will be live one way or the other if the Dodgers are looking good in the top of the 8th inning of tomorrow night. So that'll be.
I'm going to bow out before you get in all your plugs here, so I'll say goodnight to you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later. Absolutely. Thank you, Lise. Appreciate it.
Bye.
So that's tomorrow. Wednesday will be the Greg Cherry Show with Greg and I. Greg, of course, hosting, me being the faithful Ed McMahon to his Johnny Carson. I'll be doing that. Thursday, Wrestling Rewind will be, as mentioned in the chat room, the greatest Cruiserweight Championship match in history between Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio Jr. from Halloween Havoc 97. And Friday is the post-game wrap-up of day 965 of Greg's championship reign as NoDQ Wrestling Trivia Challenge champion. Will he survive to the next round? Hard to say. I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. And if Greg gets there, he's in for one come a couple weeks from now. I'll tell you what. But we'll get there. It felt like 28 degrees today, Todd. It was windy and cold as a witch's titty. It was freezing cold out here today. Terrible. So that's the week on the Jeff Meacham Network. I thank you two for sticking around for the long haul. I will talk to you guys off air momentarily. Thank you all for being along with me. For a lot of you for 18 years. It is not ignored. It is not forgotten that I am where I am because of y'all. I love y'all to pieces. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow when the sports bar opens up. Just remember, when you get in there, clean your glasses, tip your waitresses, and place your bets because the World Series is on like Donkey Kong, kids. Here we go. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.